Alright, this is my second attempt at this. My first attempt, there was a lot of noise going on outside. So, today, I'm obviously going to talk a little bit about this, and I'm going to talk about round 2. This jersey is from Nashville's first season. The logo's coming off the sleeve. There's stains all over it. The logo is freaking massive. It's underneath both armpits. When I put, it's too big. Remember when I got this, I was like, this logo is just unwieldy. It's insane. Look at that. It even distorts the camera. The camera's picking this up as the face. But last night, wow, Pekka Rinne did what I said he had to do. So they would need Pekka Rinne to be the star version of Pekka Rinne, and he was. Now they move on against San Jose. I'm not going to gloat. When I said Nashville would win, I said they'd win the series in 6. And I also said that it would be their strength and their depth. And it was their goaltending. So I was wrong. And Anaheim star players played as well as can be expected with that kind of pressure. I would be very surprised if Bruce Boudreau comes back next year. I don't know if he's going to quit or if they're going to fire him. But what are you going to do? You can't trade Getzlaf and Perry. They played great. You can't trade your goalies. You might be able to trade Anderson and decide you're going to give Gibson the starting role. You can do that. You can't trade Kessler. That contract is unwieldy and untradeable. So what's left? Your blue line is young and it's talented, and you're not going to mess with that. Pick up some depth, maybe? But would a little bit of depth, would a good third liner have really made the difference there and made Rinne not be so good? Sometimes you just don't have luck on your side. I think back to Dallas in 2007. They played a great series against Vancouver Canucks. They lost in the 7th game in a quadruple overtime. And Dallas just didn't have luck that year. They should have beat the Canucks. By all rights, they should have beat the Canucks. It's one of those things in sports. The better team is the Ducks. I think even Nashville fans would admit that after they've come down off this high. I know how that high works. But that being said, in round 2, which started last night, so my round 2 predictions are going to sound a little off, right? Because you're going to be like, oh, well, it's pretty easy because there's already a game played. So, you're going to predict that the Islanders win game 1. No, I'm going to predict Tampa wins the series. Because that's what I was going to predict anyways. And last night's game it seemed like an off game. Now, Bishop apparently has a lot of problems with the Islanders, which I didn't know before the series started. But it's the playoffs. And goalies can adjust just like players adjust. So it'll be a 7-game series, I think. I think the Islanders are proving they're a hell of a lot tougher than anybody gave them credit for, including me. And Tampa's got themselves a series. So that's my prediction there, Tampa in 7. This series, I'm going to go west. I'm not going to do the east and the west. I'm going to bounce back and forth. This series between Nashville and San Jose, between the two teams who desperately need a good long run. These teams desperately need that run so that their fan bases can say, we have something to hang our hats on. Now, San Jose made it to the conference finals in 2011 when the Canucks took them down, but the Canucks took them down to 5. And it wasn't really a series. I mean, the Canucks handled them the whole way. So San Jose, this has to be the last run for Thornton, you would think, and for Marleau. These guys would want to retire with a cup. And I could see that being what's said behind closed doors. Like, let's get a Stanley Cup for Joe Thornton before he retires, and Patrick Marleau as well. I guess we'll see. Now, they're not the driving force behind it. Guys like Couture, Hertl, Pavelski, I mean, they've got a lot of good depth up front, and Brent Burns on the point is a beast. He looks like a beast, and he plays like a beast. It is hard not to like San Jose, considering what Anaheim just did. Or Anaheim. I keep wanting to say Anaheim. Nashville. What Nashville just did. So I'm taking San Jose in 6 because I think they're the better team, and I think Nashville's really beat up. I think I know San Jose had an easier time with LA than Nashville did with Anaheim. So, based on that, I'm giving the nod to San Jose at 6. Dallas, St. Louis. Shit. I wanted Dallas and Chicago. I have a bad feeling about this. It is a very popular phrase in Star Wars movies. And Han Solo would be saying that a lot if he was a Dallas Stars fan right now. I think St. Louis beats Dallas. I think St. Louis beats Dallas potentially in 5. I want to be wrong. I want to look back at this video this summer and laugh my ass off at it and go, I was so off. Dallas swept them. I want that. But St. Louis is scary. And Tarasenko is absolutely on his game right now. And they just took out the Blackhawks. And Dallas's challenge was Minnesota. And they made it a challenge when it probably shouldn't have been. So yeah, I'm taking St. Louis. I'm taking them in 5. And I really honestly think Dallas is overmatched. I hope I'm wrong. The other series that gets started tonight. Now, I predicted Pittsburgh and Washington would meet in the second round, and I took Pittsburgh before the playoffs started. I'm still taking Pittsburgh. And I'm taking them in 6. I want to say 7. I want to say this will go 7, but I'm taking them in 6. And I'm taking them even though they have a rookie goaltender and Nick Bonino playing center. Nick Bonino. But, everybody gets their second chance or whatever you want to say. So I think that the combination of Malkin and Crosby and the fact that they both have a chip on their shoulder gives Pittsburgh the edge here. And I think 6 is probably where that ends up. The playoffs are going to be great from here. If Canada doesn't watch these series, they're crazy. The one I would understand Canada. Well, there's 2 that I could understand Canada not tuning into. Tampa and the Islanders. There isn't really a rivalry there to speak of, and I could understand it with Nashville and San Jose because they're both Southern teams. But man, Dallas, St. Louis. This is the old North Stars Blues. This is the Norris division. This could be ugly and nasty and fantastic. And Pittsburgh and Washington, you got Sid the Kid against Ovi. It should get tremendous ratings. And I'm glad it happened in the second round and not the first. And if Pittsburgh hadn't gone on the run that they went on at the end of the year, it would have happened in the first. Because I think these teams are going to be playing fantastic against each other. I think the goaltending is even. The defense is close. And offensively, let them play. I want to see some 4-3, 5-4, 5-3, 6-3, 6-4. I want goals. They'll all be 1-0 shutouts now that I've said that, but it would be fun to watch some exciting hockey. Not that low-scoring games can't be exciting. I'm not one of those people that thinks you just make the nets bigger and create more goals and that's automatically going to make the game better. But, man, Pittsburgh, Washington, I'm going to enjoy this a lot. And I don't have an emotional stake on either side. But I didn't in the Nashville-Anaheim series either, and yet somehow, because I went with the underdog, and I took heat. I took heat from people, and I watched other guys pick Nashville on these talking head talk shows. And, anytime somebody pick Nashville, I'll be like, why are you taking Nashville? Nashville doesn't do anything in the playoffs. Every team goes on a run eventually, except Columbus. And I guess the Jets. But, fun times. And the draft lottery is on Saturday. I'm very excited. There will be a video just for the draft lottery. If the Canucks win it, I will still be screaming and yelling and hooting and hollering about it, because Austin Matthews in a Canucks jersey would be amazing and would speed up their return to the playoffs by a year or two. I think he's that good. So, I mean, if they get a top 3 pick, they'll get either Lane or Puljujarvi, and Puljujarvi looks fantastic as well. So I'm not overly concerned if Puljujarvi's the one they get, but Matthews, he's that big center. He's that John Tavares type. He is. There's so much to like there. Puljujarvi is a very skilled European winger. We've had those in Vancouver. We've had many of them. You don't win a Stanley Cup there. You win your Stanley Cup down the middle. You win your Stanley Cup with strength down the middle. And the idea of having Austin Matthews, Bo Horvat, and Jared McCann down the middle. Holy crap. And Brendan Gaunce could be the number 4. You have 4 centers who have NHL builds, NHL caliber. With the exception of Gaunce, all 3 of them will be good at both ends of the ice. Gaunce needs some work, but I like the kid. I don't think he'll ever score in the NHL, but I think he could be a very good defensive forward. So, it's an exciting time. And the best hockey is usually in the first round. I think this year's going to be different. I think the best hockey is going to be in the second round, because you've got so many teams. You know, the Islanders are on a mission. They haven't won anything since '93, and man, they tore Tampa up last night. And Pittsburgh and Washington, you have the 2 biggest superstars in the game. And Nashville and San Jose, you have 2 franchises that have never won anything. 2 franchises that desperately want to give their fans something to cheer about. And then Dallas and St. Louis, you have 2 teams that are going to completely hate each other's guts quickly. And 2 teams that have strengths and weaknesses that are different. So every game is going to probably be completely different than the last. It should be amazing hockey. So yeah. And then, in the next round, if the teams I picked won, let's say it'd be St. Louis and San Jose. I don't have a clue. And then you'd have Pittsburgh and Tampa, and I would still pick Pittsburgh there over Tampa. I don't even care about Fleury's concussion. I'm sure there are people who are saying, "Oh, well, it depends on Fleury's concussion." No, Matt Murray's good. I think the kid can do it. So I guess we'll see. But it's funny too when I hear people saying stuff about, "Oh, this goaltender's hot in the playoffs." It happens. The Pittsburgh Penguins, when they won the Stanley Cup in '92, Frank Pietrangelo got hot. Frank Pietrangelo. Frank Pietrangelo. He has a cup ring. Luongo doesn't. One good playoff doesn't mean you're a superstar. It just means that in a big game or a big series, you stepped up. Look at Scott Darling last year for the Blackhawks. It just means you stepped up. So, I guess we'll see what happens. It's going to be some fun hockey. So, anyways, thanks for watching.